What's up, everybody? The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. This is Thursday, and I watched AEW Dynamite last night. I thought it was a good show. It's sort of like recaptured everything that happened at Revolution on Sunday, and there was a couple things I was sort of disappointed with on the show. And let's start it off with the TNT title, which main evented with Powerhouse Hobbs going after Wardlow. And you knew this was going to be a brutal match by two huge, muscular guys. But little did I know, and I did predict that Hobbs was going to end up getting the title, but little did I know that QT Marshall, now QTV, came out and helped out Hobbs, and Hobbs ended up winning the title. That's the part I didn't like. I wanted to see Hobbs win it directly over Wardlow. Obviously this feud is not over yet. We'll see if Hobbs joins QTV, I guess now, his group. We'll have to wait and see. The All-Atlantic title. Orange Cassidy facing Lethal. Again, this is where I get pissed off. Because Cassidy gets his ass kicked throughout every frickin' match and ends up winning that match. And this is much like Darby Allin does. And I'm saying to myself, oh, here we go again. And Cassidy could hardly stand up. And then all of a sudden, Lethal's shoulder was bothering him due to a move that happened earlier in the match. And Cassidy and his orange punch, come on, a ripoff of Roman Reigns' super punch. Cassidy, this AEW, have him beat up a guy throughout the match and have him win. I'd be happy then. But this guy always gets his ass kicked, looks like he's ready to lose, and he gets that boom, that burst of energy, and ends up retaining. And they have leveled up the AAC belt, the All-Atlantic Championship belt, now to All International Championship. And why they're doing that, I'm not sure. Cassidy is supposed to defend it next week in Canada, which they're in Winnepeg. And we'll see what happens there. Bringing up Winnipeg, the Jericho Appreciation Society had their match. And, they come out when it's all said and done, cheating as always, with Jake Hader getting involved towards the end and having the Appreciation Society winning. And Daniel Garcia goes, well, now that we won, we're number one contenders for the Trios title. Which, where did that come from? To me, the team that loses should be the number one contender. And that was the Elite with Kenny Omega to the House of Black. But here was the thing. When Jericho was calling out the House of Black, we heard the music of the Elite. And this is where AEW screwed up, to me, much like the WWE screwed up with Sami Zayn not facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, because Omega came out and he's talking to Jericho and he goes to him basically, you and I have, whether it was out of respect or whatever, do not cross the line on each other. And reasons being is unbeknownst. But that's one of the big things in AEW is a lot of times they won't have one huge star go up against another huge star. But they're going to be in Winnipeg next Wednesday. Jericho and Omega are from Winnipeg. Wouldn't this been such a great match to see Omega and Jericho for the first time, really, on Canadian soil? They've wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom 12 and numerous times, but this, you want ratings? This would have did it. But instead, they have decided to have a triple three-way trios title match with the House of Black, the Elite, and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Tony Khan, I think it's a wrong move. Jericho one-on-one with Kenny Omega would have been huge. Why you didn't pull the trigger on that, I don't know, but maybe it is to get to the rest of the other guys on the card. I mean, I really don't know. But to me, it just, you dropped the ball. And it just reminds me of Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. So, the show was good. There was some matches that obviously I didn't really care too much about. And quite honestly, I'm getting tired of seeing Saraya and Toni Storm come out week after week after week. Where are the originals, like Hikaru Shida? I didn't see Britt Baker last night. Would have been nice to see her. We also did see, though, FTR come out, and they were talking about their losses at the end of last year. And it looks like 2023 is going to be a big year for FTR. I'm not sure who's going to really come off and get those tag belts right away, but I have a funny feeling there's going to be a number of teams that are going to be involved, because if you remember, we haven't seen Darby Allin and Sting in many, many weeks now. The last time we saw them, we're driving away in a convertible, and Sting said to Darby, "We got things we need to take care of." And I think they're going to come back as a tag team. And, you know, that obviously if they do come back as a tag team, let's face it, anything can happen. So, anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about Dynamite last night. I'm getting tired of these Jade Cargill promos. I'm 52 and 0. Well, guess what? Who big, honestly, Jade, have you really wrestled in AEW? You know, there's the Jamie Haters of the world. There's the Britt Bakers. There is the Tony Storms, the Sarayas. All these people. Who do you wrestle? You wrestle people like Sky Blue, who's just starting to make her own path in AEW, but you really don't wrestle anybody relevant. So just keep your mouth shut. I cannot wait for the day she gets beat. On that note, think about what I said about Omega and Jericho, because they're both from Winnipeg, Canada. Don't you think that would have been a huge, huge draw while they're in Winnipeg? And then my final note. Renee Paquette interviews Hangman Page. He says as far as he's concerned, the feud with Moxley is over. But yet, if you notice, the Blackpool Combat Club has really turned more heelish than anything else. They just kept beating down on the Dark Order. Hangman came out. It makes me wonder what's next. Could it be a 3-on-3 match coming soon or on a pay-per-view? It very well could be. It could be Reynolds, Silver, and Hangman against Yuta Moxley and Claudio. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Anyway, this is the Iceman on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel on this Thursday. Peace out, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.